Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Above the Bar podcast, where each week we belly up to the bar with a new guest, find out what they do, who they are, and what makes them great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Above the Bar podcast. It's your host, Sean. We're bellied up to the bar here on June 10th. It's a Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And how lucky of a man could I be to have, there's a song about this entire thing. Don't you wish they could all be California girls? So why not have two of them here tonight, joining us from way out on the left coast? We're going to be talking about how do you take it from idea to book. Everybody thinks they've got the next great American novel in their head, and they just don't have the effort to actually put it down on writing. So to join us here, we've got Kristin Manna, who's been on here a bunch of times, helped me fill a bunch of different holes when I need guests. I can't tell you how many times I've called her up. Hey, Kristin, I got about 15 minutes. You want to come on the show, or you got somebody? And she's either been willing to or come on with me. So she's going to be talking about it. And those of you that have listened to many of these shows, you know who Dr. Bean is, and you've heard me. We had him on here, and we talked about what he has going on. So why not have the other part of his writing team come on? We got Dr. Kathy Nash. So everybody give a big warm Above the Bar welcome to Kristin and Kathy. I told you guys that I have no idea how I'm going
to. Sean, it's so good to be here. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So again, folks, we're going to be talking about how do you get it from idea to book? What's their process? Both of them have publishing companies. Both of them have written books or helped somebody write books, or at least found a book that they lost underneath the couch or something. We're going to be talking about those kind of things. But let's go ahead and take care of some house cleaning real quick. First things, as always, folks, if you're finding them through me or me through them, make sure you're giving this a like, share, follow if you're on YouTube or any of our other social media. Make sure you're following our page. We do this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Over my shoulder, though, folks, that's the big board for Sticker and a Cause. If you've got something you believe in, something you're supporting, whether it be maybe you're writing your own book, you've got a band, you've got your own podcast, I don't care what it is. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, TikTok. Our website is theabovethebarpodcast.com. Our email is theabovethebarpodcast@gmail.com. Send me a message. Let me know what you got going on. I'll tell you where to send the sticker to. You send me a sticker. I put it on the board. Everybody gets to hear about you. You grow, we all grow together. Then we got to talk about the people paying the bills around here. And listen, Kristin's got shutters. So I like shutters. So that, hopefully from our sponsor, who is Budget Blinds. And we're talking about Budget Blinds of East Greenbush, Hudson, Cooksaki, Schoharie, Del Mar, and Clifton Park. North America's largest custom window treatment company. Again, they're doing shades, shutters, blinds, drapery, tint, you name it, they're taking care of it. They even started doing recently security, exterior security screens and doors through a company called CrimSafe. If you don't know who that is, look them up, folks. CrimSafe is wild. So make sure you're reaching out to your local Budget Blinds. And if you're in the capital region, they're doing 20% off of product, and anything you motorize, they'll give you another 5%. And as the rule goes, if you tell them that you're there to belly up to the bar, they're going to give you another 5% off of that. So make sure you're reaching out to Budget Blinds of East Greenbush, Hudson, Cooksaki, Schoharie, Del Mar, Clifton Park. Did I forget any of them? I think it's all 5 of them. So make sure you're reaching out to them and let them know you're there to belly up to the bar. All righty, ladies. You already got questions coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, really?
So I don't know if it's, I think it's Michelle. Give us 1 second here and we'll get right to your question. But I want to make sure I got my notes absolutely correct here. Notes. Where'd you go? Moving up. Notes. Am I on the right one? See, it helps if you're actually on the right screen.
Oh, I hate that, Sean. Isn't that a pain?
Yeah. Well, I was doing work-related stuff beforehand. Yeah. So let's take a look here. So, Kristin, we know you're publicist, media strategist, ninja networker, knows just about everybody. You've got your political world. You've got just about everybody under the sun that you've dealt with. Did I miss anything?
United
Nations Association.
You're a mom. You're a wife. What else am I missing here?
Yep.
She comes to Boston and never comes to Albany.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm in New York City at least 3 times a year. So I just
I
needed
tell
what
you
do
that
I need? Do I just need to get on a train and just
you
come
can
up
get on
to
a
Albany?
train. You can get
Okay.
on it's 2.5. But see, like, just to put it in perspective for you, that would be like you're in Orange County and me
Uh-huh.
being like, I'm in San Diego. Why don't you just come by? That makes
Well,
sense.
Sean, if I make it to that coast, I need to just get on a train, you
It's
know?
2.5
Totally.
hours. But I
Yeah.
expect you at least you have your significant other or your kids since I've heard about them all for years here. So, and actually, this is no joke, folks. Like I've known Kristin since she was who's the lady that did the sex trafficking lady? That
Oh, Rima Nashashibi.
yeah, Rima.
Yeah,
The
when I was
first
her developmental director. Yeah,
yeah,
my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
That's
So
like
you guys go way back.
yeah, like
yeah.
That's
she
cool.
might have actually been the first person to ever reach out to me that wasn't somebody I reached out to and was like, "Hey, I got this guest. You want her on your show?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
Or Rima
Oh
had
my
to
gosh.
listen to me, and then for you, Dr. Kathy, now is it what are we a doctor in?
Organizational leadership education.
Okay.
So I was an educator for 25 years and ended up being a middle school principal at the end.
Ugh,
So
worst, the worst of humanity at that.
they
Oh,
they are fun, let me tell you. You know, they're hard, God bless them all, but they're really fun too, and it's such a cool age, you know. So
mhm.
I loved that. That was the
Were you
best
6
part of
through
my
8?
career.
Were you
Huh?
guys 6 through 8 or were you 7 and 8?
Well, I had a junior high school
Okay.
originally, and I did elementary, but then I did junior high, and that was seventh and eighth, and then I ended up in middle, which is six, seven, and eight.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's what
kind
it
of
is.
the same thing, but a little bit different.
We had when I recruited for the Marine Corps, I don't know if you've ever heard of North Penn High School. It's the largest high school in the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
Graduate
wow.
It graduates about 1,000 kids a year.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh.
they on,
Wow.
they only have 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in the high school.
Oh,
Oh my
wow. Yeah, that's
gosh.
kind of small
Oh, that's
actually, because we're in the 2,000 to 3,000, you know.
Graduating classes out of one high school.
Oh, just the graduating
Yeah,
class.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm thinking the whole
Graduating,
high school.
wow.
the
Oh my
That's a
graduating
lot.
class.
that's a
Yeah,
lot of kids.
Yeah,
Wow.
their high school looked like a college campus. It
Oh,
was
geez.
so
right.
yeah, like it was a massive, massive place. But I'm also looking here. So you have your company, Nash
Yeah.
Press Publishing, uh, and then co-author of Lifted to Lead. We know about Dr. Bean with that one. I still tell the story about that guy.
Oh,
His,
isn't he
his story's
amazing?
amazing. I was so fortunate to connect with him and be able to help him get that out. He's an amazing man.
And
He
and
really is.
you've
Yeah.
published a lot of books here: Faith and Fire, Recipes to Celebrate, Finding Your Wings. I mean, you've got a bunch of stuff here, doing all that, your Title
Yeah.
One stuff. I mean, you've got a full-blown career. I gotta ask you, I mean, full-blown career, 25 years teaching, all these different accolades and all that. Why do
What's
anything else?
wrong with me?
I mean, I look at all this. I mean, you worked
It's
in
not enough, Sean. It's just not enough.
I mean, I'm looking at it all and I'm thinking to myself, like, at what point do we just kind of go, all right, I'm good. Let me tap out for a minute. I'm good.
Yeah, you know, it's really weird. So I retired 3 years ago, or maybe it might be 4. And so all the school stuff was, I was all consumed with that for really my whole life there. And then when I retired, like I always wrote, and I loved writing. And yes, I got to do a little bit of writing in my career. There's a lot of stuff you have to write, but it's not like you're writing a story you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left, I took care of my mom for a year. She was living with me, and she passed away after that. And I was really blessed to, have had that time with her. And then it was just kind of like I wasn't really planning on doing anything after that. But I just started, I don't know, I was kind of working on my own stories, which I have a bunch, how everybody starts some and they never finish them.
Right.
So I have a bunch of those, right? And I'm like, okay, none of them just ever like made me finish, right? And that should tell you something, people out there. It has to make you finish. And so then I just connected with Stefan, and we became friends, and he was looking for a writer because he's a busy man, and at the time I wasn't busy. And so we just wrote Lifted to Lead, and we have book 2 ready to go, which is the framework in there. It's going to be lead to lift. And it's our framework in the first book. And that's coming up soon as he gets around to his part, because he's been busy. And
it's not like he's running the most diverse.
No. So it's okay that he's busy, but
I know.
Get to work, bud.
I know. I always.
Yeah.
How many kids is he raising? How many kids does he have? 3?
He has 4.
Oh,
And,
4. I'm sorry, not 3.
Single
4.
dad and
Beans.
all of that.
Look, Dr.
So
Beans
we just
around. Let's go.
Yeah, we just kind of, that kind of got me writing again. And then it was funny because one day he said to me, Kathy, you know enough about publishing. You should just start your own business. And I thought, okay. So really, literally, like the next day, I kind of thought, okay, I'll start learning about these things. And now I have quite a few books that are out. You named some of them that are coming out. But I have Fatherless to the Father. I have Bones to Beauty that's out. I have my new one, Tiffany and the Golden Feather. That's a lovely book. And I just launched History of Champagne and the Recipes to Celebrate. It's with Chef Mark Periano. And then coming up, I have Faith in the Fire. It's a devotional. And that's going to be releasing probably the end of this month. And then the next one's probably Kristin's, and that's Finding Your Wings and Learning to Fly. I have, that's going to be amazing. She'll tell you about that. And then I have Planting the Seeds of Hope, which is about during the Korean War. And I have Mr. Kim, who's runs an incredible foundation out here. And I happened upon that one. And then I have Saving Them, which is the Ukraine war zone. So I have a lot of projects going on, and I just got a poetry book.
Wait, is that Peter Kim?
Huh?
Is that when you said Mr. Kim, is that Peter?
No,
Okay.
not Peter Kim.
I was thinking of the Peter. Who's the Peter that you had on the show with me?
Oh, Peter Quo.
Peter
Quo, yeah. Peter Quo.
Yeah. She's got all the political people.
Oh, listen. Yeah. Why the guy from Albany, New York had gubernatorial candidates from California on it only because of Kristin.
Honestly, she knows everyone. And her book, that we're working on the first one, it's going very well. And then we have book 2 and 3. It's going to be a series, and all those connections you talked about, these incredibly, big names out here and people that have made a difference everywhere have been her mentors. And we're going to write about that, right, Kristin?
Yeah, it's so exciting because I started Finding Your Wings and Fly. That's what I started, and I started in COVID, and I was talking to I was talking to different people about it now that I'm in the as a publicist, and I was talking to people, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so passionate about about people's books." They're like, "Have you ever written anything?" And I'm like, yeah, I have. And I'm like, so I started talking to them about, so Find Your Wings and Fly. I really am so inspired by the people that I've worked with. I really feel so grateful and blessed because these are the people that actually, like, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, you know. I've been so fortunate to grow and learn so many things and have a whole world that's opened up to me because of the mentors in my life, you know. And I really, so each chapter is about a mentor that I've had in my life, you know. And Peter Quo is in the book, and Ron Jones. Remember Ron Jones? He's in
I
the
do.
book.
He's the one
Yeah.
that ran for governor,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
He's a
And
good dude. I liked him. Whatever happened with him? Like
he's actually in Korea. He's
was
in
he,
Korea
Wow.
writing his next books. And he's also unfortunately his wife passed away. Remember, she had a cancer,
I do.
and he just needed a new environment, so he went to Korea.
It's an
And
interesting place to like. I just got to go
Wow.
in Korea. Like most
I
people like go
know.
to the woods in their neighborhood or something. Like Korea.
Yeah.
Korea, that's a big
And
change.
and he should be on your show again, Sean, because he's got a
Really?
big podcast. He's got a big podcast there. Yeah. Um, it is really exciting. And then, so I just have like all these wonderful people that have added so much to my life. And I'm so blessed. And I think to myself, I'm like, you know, I really feel sorry for people. Like, people really need people, and I think with technology, I think it's kind of put us into isolation a little bit. And I feel like, you know what? I'm so happy that technology wasn't around my entire life, because I've learned to get out more than I think, people who've had technology you know, might be more isolated. But because I've gotten out there, I've met all these wonderful people that have made my world so much better. And I just am so blessed to write something about every big mentor that's been in my life as a blessing to me and a blessing to others who haven't met these people.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen, but you're such a shut-in of a person. You're very reserved. You really don't. I just can't imagine you going out and just introducing yourself to people and getting involved in things. I just can't imagine.
She makes me tired. Her energy. She's like 5 Energizer bunnies, right?
Constantly on the go. I cannot tell you how many times I've sent her a message about something. She's like, "I'll get back to you. We're currently doing fill in the blank," and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"How is she doing that for?" Like, okay,
I,
I know when
She's
I know when
great.
she's ready for something.
Great.
For those that don't know it, let's see. Kristen, the first post went out, and not 2 minutes later, she was messaging me to correct something. Today, like, she sends me a message. I'm like, Kristen, I'm writing this stuff now. Okay. I'm so excited. I just can't wait. We were 50 seconds from me letting you guys in. I was like, 7:50. Let's do it. 50 seconds. And she's like calling me. I'm like, my words were, Kristen.
She was calling me too, Sean. What is that, Kristen?
I was
At
like,
the same time, she
said,
was
I know.
calling us.
I don't want to miss the party. I don't
No.
want to
I'm
miss
like,
the
we have
party.
50 seconds. That's all
That's
we've
so
got.
funny.
And she's all, and listen, folks, and again, if you're finding us through right now and you're just joining us and you have questions, maybe you're looking to write a book or you have a question for both Dr. Kathy or Kristen. Heck, for Kristen, I'll tell you right now, if you're looking to learn how to network, I don't know anybody who does it in a more unique, grassroots, genuine way. Let me know. Let's see. Monica Rodriguez says, that's my sister.
Oh, that's what. Oh, yeah. Oh, Monica. Oh.
Oh, look at that. So we found your sister. But seriously, did you know you had a sister? Let's ask that question, man. You had it before this moment.
Yes, yes, I do.
But it's such a unique, situation here. But if you have questions, please let us know. Let me jump into this first one because Michelle had this right away. So for you, Kathy, what books have you written and what is coming next?
So, Lifted to Lead is out there, and book 2, Lead to Lift is coming pretty soon. And then, Bones to Beauty, is out, and that's a beautiful book about, a really difficult childhood for this beautiful young girl. There was abuse, and it turned into anorexia, and she wanted to write her book to help people out there. And so she has a beautiful book. We have Fatherless to the Father, and that one's about that's about a young boy who had a father who was addicted, and there were abuse issues, and ultimately he found out after trying his whole life trying to get this relationship with his father, because no matter what he did, you love your father, right? And he finally realized that God was the father, that he had been, that was there for him all along. So that's a beautiful book. And then there's Tiffany and the Golden Feather, which is completely different. And that's about, growing up on a farm, this lovely little family from back when, and she finds this magical golden feather, and, it's a beautiful children's type book, but for older kids as well. So those are out. And then I just launched The History of Champagne, which is entirely different. And it's the recipes that we celebrate with, that they're actually champagne recipes. And there's pairings. And it also has the history of Dom Perignon. So it's this beautiful, coffee table book with, it's a gorgeous book. And the chef is Mark Periano, and he's fabulous. He's in Ohio, actually, and he's a private chef. So it's his beautiful recipes. So that's out. And then next will be Faith in the Fire, and that's the devotional we talked about, 31 days. And that woman, Arlene Ramirez Colon, was an 80s singer, and she was very big back in the day. And she's now come through her whole life, and she has battled breast cancer.
What's her name again?
Arlene Ramirez Colon. Colon.
Let's see, Arlene Ramirez Colon, you said?
Colon. Yeah, and she's in Florida, and she's amazing. And
popped right up. Arlene, recording artist, Tender Hearts.
That's it. That's her.
I'm always curious of those things. Like
right.
They had those big hits at that time. Her picture looks familiar to me. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Yeah, and she's it's so funny because we connected through my other author, Susan Reneker, who randomly connected with her, and they were talking about, their books, and she connected us. And it's kind of amazing the way things work. And so her beautiful devotional, 31-day devotional, will be out the end of the month.
Oh, that's so
and
nice.
It's Kristin's turn. And then I have a lot of other ones going on. So thank you, Michelle, for asking that.
Absolutely. So, and again, folks, real quick here, if you have questions, please drop those into the comments right now. I just realized, ladies, and nobody picked up on it until just now. I had the wrong banner running for this entire time. I had last banner running on the bottom.
I thought was it Kevin, right?
Kevin Baker.
I thought he was a sponsor. That's what I thought.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh shit! Why is Kevin?
That's what I thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's a big sponsor.
So I mean, I want to ask you this though, Kristin. I mean, again, why? You have enough things going on, and we joke around about that with everything you have going on. We joke. You're here on the East Coast. You're there on the West Coast. Your kids are out here by me. It's still one boss and one DC, right?
My son's in Brooklyn, or he's in Queens now, because he could get a bigger place in Queens than he could in Brooklyn.
So instead of $4,000 for 3 square feet, he paid 5 square feet. Congratulations.
Exactly. I know he could.
Holy cow!
He could actually walk around in this room and not hit the
turn
wall.
around without walking out of the room. You can turn without walking out of the room in this one.
Yeah. And then Delaney is in Boston. She's going to school. It's her it's her last year at Northeastern. But I really think she loves Boston. I think she'll probably stay there.
Did
So.
you ever get to go to Al's and get a sandwich yet?
No. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I keep telling you, when you're in Boston, you got.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: you have to go because they're closed on the weekends because it's in the financial district.
Okay.
You have to go during the week.
Okay.
Called
Al's.
I think she probably has. I'm going to ask her. Oh my god.
What kind of sandwiches are we talking about, Sean?
Cold cuts, different stuff like that. But they do by far, bar none, the best chicken salad I've ever had.
Wow.
And I get mine with Italian hots on it. So some people call it Italian relish. I grew up on Italian hots.
Yeah.
But it's the spicy Italian relish.
Right.
Get mine with Italian hots and provolone. It is absolutely.
That sounds good.
My mouth is watering. It's so good.
I left Amtrak back in 2021, but we used to be able to pull into Boston, and you would go down to Al's, and it was $7 for a foot long, and you would get two of them, and one of them would go in the fridge of the train. You eat one for lunch.
Yeah, it's that kind of sandwich where you have to buy two.
Yeah,
I get it.
The place is, and supposedly there's other ones around the city, but I always thought it was interesting that place is like, now we only a sandwich shop that only needs to be open Monday through Friday because they're in the financial district.
Right.
That's how good of a business model.
Wow.
To me, as somebody who owns a company, I'm like, that's a serious business model. When you're like, because most restaurants, you got to be 7 days a week. You might be breakfast and lunch. They're like, we're 5 days a week. We can run it this way.
Oh my gosh.
I've never been in there and it wasn't packed.
Wow. Was it right off the train?
One item, Yeah,
well, they had all kinds of stuff. And Susan Renker, and thanks for the heart there. Susan says,
"Hi, Susie."
All three of my books did an amazing job. So, if she wouldn't have done an amazing job, Susan, I wouldn't have her on the show.
Susan's a great author.
Oh.
And now that kind of feeds into one of my questions. So, I mean, let's talk about it. So, publishing right now, has got to be one of the more difficult fields to be in because, I mean, reality of it is like I listen to an audio book right now, and I didn't even pick up on it. My 16-year-old did. He goes, "Dad, that's all AI." I'm like, "Is it?" He goes, "Yeah." I've got over 1,000 episodes. They're 8 minutes a piece. He goes, "Dad, that whole thing is AI." I'm like, "I thought the pictures worked because you could tell they didn't work." But he goes, no, the whole thing. So when you're trying to publish real works, real life, real things, of all the stuff that you could have got into, why get into both of you? Because Kristin, you're doing the same thing. Why get into publishing like this? I mean, you got Random House, you got Penguin, you got big names that you have to compete with in a space that, let's be realistic. If I throw it on a Barnes and Noble shelf, unless you got super lucky, no one's knowing this book is out there. So why and how?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, for me, it came from just this passion to help people get their books out that means something to them. Like, it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to start this business and make $1 million. And in fact, I've gotten into it not knowing how it would be, to be honest with you, just sort of flowing through it, but that's kind of where it came from for me. Like, if I can help people become authors and get their words out, their stories out, and even so far, these great stories that help other people, then that's what makes me happy. You know what I mean? So that's the bottom line. But you're right. I mean, it's super hard. We publish on Amazon, which there's 50 million books on Amazon. So you're right when you're talking about competing. Right. But what I've told my authors, and Kristin knows this full well because she's a book promoter, and, you're not going to make a killing or $1 million on Amazon. What you can do is get your author copies, which which you'll pay less for, and go out and do events and go to where people want to read your book. So, for, Chef Mark, I mean, he holds cooking events and cooks for his clients. And that would be a great place to do a book signing or promote your book. When I look at Bones to Beauty, this is a story about healing and anorexia and abuse. This might, you have to reach out to people in those areas. Maybe it's the medical profession that wants to actually know more about how do people become anorexic? What is that? So you have to go to those places. You have to go to public libraries. You have to, Tiffany and the Golden Feather, beautiful children's book. It would be great at places where, families are going to go and buy that type of a book. So, you're right. It's very difficult, but you have to take advantage of it that way, getting your books for a lot less, your author copies, and then going out and reselling them in the places where people actually want to read them.
Right. And there's a whole strategy to book promotions too. And, I mean, what I love about being a publicist is that I am basically campaigning, which I've done for over 15 years. But
Really?
but I'm campaigning for authors, which is such a wonderful space to be in, because I have learned so much, like in the last 7. I didn't even tell you the story. So it was about a year ago. You remember when I was working in the nonprofit space? I was in the nonprofit space for a while. And after my last nonprofit work with Arts and Learning Conservatory, I'm like, oh, I'm going back into campaigning. I'll go back into political campaigning. And I was like, I had offers and I was praying about it, because I haven't prayed about getting into some campaigns before. And I'm like, oh Lord, I should have prayed about this before I got in. And God was like, wait. And I'm like, wait? And he's like, yep, wait. And I'm like, okay. And so I had more offers and he's like, wait. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I want to, I love working, right?
Oh, yeah.
I love working. So I'm like getting kind of like restless. And I went to a party and Dr. Bean was there. And Dr. Bean goes, Kristin, how are you doing? Catch me up. What campaigns are you working on? I'm like, well, this is a funny story. I'm like, and I go, you know what? God, and, like people have different like gods, but my God, like God was telling me,
They're telling you what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But he was saying, wait. And Dr. Bean goes, that's so interesting. I'm like, really? And he's like, we need to talk. And you know what? Dr. Bean opened a world to me that I am so grateful for, because I am the happiest person I've ever been in my entire life right now, because I am promoting people who have stories that they wanted to share with the world. And it's an overwhelming task, but God has given me, with my networking, with the people that I know, so many great ideas. And I really have to give it to God, because I'm like, whoa, that was an interesting idea. I'm like, that was not my idea. That was God, and opening doors. And it's just amazing that like I have got so much favor with like getting into Barnes and Noble. And once you get into one Barnes, it's hard. Sean, it is hard to get in.
Very hard. And she got us in.
And I got
God bless you, Kristin.
Thank you.
She's that good. She got us in.
There's certain things I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
When it comes to her. But you just reminded me of something. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Have you ever just had, either one of you, had somebody just go, hey, I need to introduce you to somebody, and you need to talk to them about writing their book?
Every day.
Yeah.
So we had a guest on a few weeks ago. What is Bob's last name? Schrober, Schober. and he goes by 9-Figure Roofer. And I think either one of you. So, Kristin, you should promote him
Okay.
for a book.
Yeah.
I know he's got a publicist, and she's amazing. But I think the two of you could write his book. He was homeless, living on a beach, living out of his car in a beach in California. Had some gotten some legal troubles. He's my age, maybe a little bit older now. Cleaned his act up and built a roofing company, but not physically doing the roof, selling all the roofing jobs in 15 different states, sold it to a PE, and
Oh, wow.
now he goes out and he by accident kind of said, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this thing," where he introduced himself to a family and recorded it and gave them money. And
Oh
now he
my
goes
God.
to grocery stores and he'll be like, "Hey, have you heard about Philip Cart special?" And people are like, "What are you talking about?" And he's a big dude. He's a big dude. So he's not worried about people saying
Right.
stuff to him. But I'll have to introduce you to Bob because he just now he just films and he's like, "Dude, I have never been happier. God has never been more
Oh,
than
That is an
so
amazing
good.
story.
It
you know?
is.
And I'll tell
It
everybody,
is.
go check out Bob. Bob's pretty amazing. Again, he goes
What's
by
his last name again?
Yeah.
Schrober, Schober. He goes by 9-Figure Roofer. He's just a good dude. I'll introduce you. I'll put some. Don't let me forget, and I'll put an email together after we're done and introduce you guys.
Okay.
Because
Oh, that's
That
great.
sounds like an amazing story. And some people, I think, Sean, they don't write their book because they think I have an amazing story, or but I don't know how to write, or how am I going to begin? And I try to bridge that gap. I
Okay.
can just, if you're a great writer, I can just edit it a little bit for you. If
Yeah.
you need a developmental writer, and being a writer, I know how to do all that. I can put all that together as much or as little as you need, right? And then I can get you published, the formatting, the cover, getting you on there, and then Kristin can promote you.
Exactly.
So, you got the package here.
Exactly.
Well,
Well,
California girls.
and you know what? Oh, I was going to say, what's so neat about Kathy too is we're working on different chapters and we chat about it. I mean, I have a foundation, but she's like, you know what? Let's get more of the story from one of my mentors. And so we'll get on the phone and we'll do an interview together with them, and it's just to round out my stories, and it's
Yeah.
just, and and when I'm talking to people like my Uncle Bob should be on your show. I would love
I'm
that.
shaking my head at you for a reason, Kristin.
Uncle Bob's a cool guy. I met Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
We missed an opportunity here. You know what we could have done?
What?
How many chapters in the book?
Oh, the first book will be.
We don't really know yet. We've written 3, but probably 12, 10, 12.
So 10 to 12 mentors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What we could have done, and David Goggins did this with his book, is he has a read through where he reads his own book, but he does it in a podcast style where he stops in between the chapters as he reads the book and talks about what was going on and gives a deeper explanation that's a little harder to write that you could talk. We could have done a podcast and not published it of each one of your interviews and then you and Kathy could have wrote
Didn't
the
write
book
it.
of it.
Oh, wow.
Published. You would have had a written version of it, then the audio version of you reading it, and then somebody could have took the podcast version and edited it in at the end of each one based on the interviews.
Well, Sean, we
Wow.
can still do that. So
Yeah.
okay.
That's so great, Sean. That's
Yes,
amazing.
We can still
I
do
love
that.
that.
That's an amazing idea.
It is.
I
I'm
love that.
the only one I ever saw do that, where
Yeah.
he read his book and he reads it himself, and at the end of each chapter, him and some other guy, I think it was the guy who wrote with him, who helped him write the book, talk about when he was telling this story and he was going through this, and And it's just a unique idea. I've never seen it anywhere else. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks because I drive all the time.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then Vic Hartman just said, Kathy, I have really enjoyed the inspirational books you have published and co-written. You truly are very talented. I can't wait.
Aw,
Oh,
thank you,
that's so
Vicky.
sweet.
You got
That's so
That's very
sweet.
sweet. There's a lot more coming.
that's awesome. So then, but that kind of for both of you, it goes into one of my questions. So we've talked about it a million times here. It'll probably never get finished only because it's already done in my head. I have a book 5 chapters deep. I actually have 3 books done
Let's
in my
do
head.
it.
But done,
Oh,
but I can't. Here's my problem, and I know me. After I wrote them and I had the 5 chapters done, I got into the next thing in my life.
yeah.
And if you
Right.
ask me, how does this book finish? I can tell you the whole finish to it. That's what so when you run into somebody who's like me,
Mhm.
who's like,
Yeah.
listen, I can tell you how the whole book finishes. I can tell you how every element. I even tried using chat when chat first came out. I was like, here's my 5 chapters. Can you help me finish this? And chat couldn't do it right. And I'm like, no, this shit's never getting done. But it's like completely great story. We've talked about it on here. I'm not going to talk about it again. But how do you work with somebody who's like, listen, uh, I write like I talk, and if you can hear the silky sounds of this voice, it's not the greatest writing. How do you work with somebody like that?
Mm.
Well, it's, that is what I think I have a strength in that area because I'm able to hear their voice. And even if it's not finished or it's rough, there's this, hey, I just have this knack about putting things together in a way that's not losing their voice, but refining it and
Mhm.
turning it into a story by tapping into the emotion. And that I dig that. Like I can write my own books forever, but I love getting people's stuff like that. Like that's fun for me.
And
Really?
and
Yes.
it's so amazing too, Sean, because as we're working on my chapters together, I'm like, wow, that sounds like me. She does that. She's so I'm like, oh my gosh, that
That's a
sounds like
real
I
talent.
wrote it and I didn't write
Yeah.
it. And you know what, Sean? You know what's the greatest thing is everybody has a story, and it's not hard, but it would be great if everybody could tell their story and get
Mhm.
someone like Kathy to help them write their story
Aw.
because it's so you know what? I feel like I told people, I'm like, you know what? Writing this book with Kathy is like Christmas on steroids for me every day.
Literally,
It is
literally.
because I am so happy and I'm like, this is something I've wanted to do. And I'm like, kind of like you, Sean. I'm like, how do I do this? And then you go, oh, it'll never happen. And then I meet someone like Kathy and I'm like, Kathy. And then I talked to her about it. She goes, we could do this. And I'm like, we can?
Yeah,
And I'm
like
like,
I
well,
love that.
I'm
Like
like,
she has these foundational pieces and I can see like where we have to elaborate or I'll say to Kristen, but Kristen, where's the heart there? Like let's go back and talk about this, because you kind of have to pull it out of people because that human emotion, that's the story, that's the connection that's going to get your readers to want to read and
mhm.
keep reading. We can just tell a story all we want, but you have to connect on a heart level. And
Yeah.
Kristen's doing that, and her book's going to be amazing.
I can't wait. So, real quick here, folks, it's just about closing time here at the bar. It's June 10th. We're far enough into June that summer is no longer a plan. It's happening. The cookouts are being scheduled. Calendars are filling up. The sun's staying out a little longer, and the best conversations are moving outside. This episode is brought to you by New Scotland Spirits, small batch whiskey, handcrafted right here in upstate New York. Whether you're on the back deck, around the fire pit, or sitting with friends around After a long day, New Scotland Spirits is the perfect way to slow down and enjoy the moment. Made with local grains and real craftsmanship, every bottle is a reminder that some things are worth doing the right way. New Scotland Spirits. Come visit them at newscotlandspirits.com and find your next favorite pour. New Scotland Spirits, made for summer nights and stories worth telling. Just like you
Love
guys.
that.
I like it. I like it. And you
Just
know,
Everybody go buy it.
yes, yes. And then write your book. Then call Kathy.
That's right.
And write your
And
book.
then call
Oh, you drink one of
Kristin,
these,
and then have a drink with Sean.
There we go.
a long
And
time.
then be on their show, be on Sean's show after you get your book done.
That's right.
That's the way we do it. So,
And you know what, Sean? You
Yes,
know what?
ma'am.
I just need to tell you, it's if people get out there, it's really like if you get your book out there, there's so many ways to make money outside of the book sales alone. Like
Right.
you could be a keynote speaker, which you can make tens of thousands of dollars on. You can be on podcasts that actually Dr. Bean's been on podcasts and he's like, Kristin, we sold over blah, blah, blah books. And
Every time.
and I just had to sit at my house and, talk to people for an hour.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like going to a bookstore, setting up, waiting
Mhm.
for people, which is all great. But it's like, there are so many great ways that and I can help writers, make money on things that they love to do, writing their book, telling their story, like
Right.
Mara J. James, she's doing a Piggy Bear. Let me show you where Piggy Bear.
Yep.
Where
She was on here also.
Yeah. We're working with making a show, Piggy Bear and Friends.
She was
That's
telling me about that.
Yeah, and that's a whole other thing. Like
That's amazing.
Dr. Bean's story could be a Netflix show.
now-
It could be a movie, a major movie,
We're waiting for that. All
Yeah.
you movie producers out there.
Oh yeah.
I think Dr. Bean's story is so interesting. Again, we're back to that one, but it's just such a unique story, folks. If you go back in our older episodes, probably about a month and a half ago, I don't think it's been that much longer than that. Maybe it's been longer. I don't know. And you can find his story, from literally being dumped on a street in Vietnam, not figuratively, not like, oh, this is, a metaphor. No, his parents dropped him off on a corner at like
2 years
2 years
old.
old, 2 years old in
Paraplegic.
Vietnam.
Mhm.
Yeah, suffered from polio, cannot walk, paraplegic, and his parents just walked away.
Yeah.
Like as a parent, I don't know if you have kids also, Kathy, but as a
I
parent,
do. Heart-wrenching.
I can't even.
Yeah.
And the other side to it is when I heard his story, it was very much like the other side to it is it a cultural thing where it's like, hey, I can't deal with this, or is it because he said it like not long after he was dropped off, the missionaries picked him right up and swooped him away. Was the other side to it of a parent's love that people don't think about it in this way. A parent's love that's so strong that they're like, I know I can't do right by this child, but I
Right.
know these people. I know the Samaritan is coming. I know they're.
Mhm.
In chapter 1 of Lifted to Lead, we write about that and exactly that, and he went back and it was a really difficult, moment for him to go back to, but it was like, I would ask him those questions like, why do you think your mom did that? And we talked about that. Could it have just been the war? They were coming right now. They couldn't move with him. Was it that she couldn't take care of a paraplegic child or move him during this war that was invading Saigon any minute, or, was it that she knew the orphanage would come and get him and that he would be given a better life? And we went through all that and we talk a little bit about that in chapter 1. And, some of it, he was like, I never even thought about that because what a heart-wrenching thing, But he's just amazing. And what's really ironic is we were doing at Barnes and Noble a signing, and this Korean man, Mr. Kim, comes in, doesn't know Dr. Bean, nothing. And we find out, right, Kristin, that one of the planes that Steph and Dr. Bean was supposed to be on when he flew to the States finally crashed and orphans died. He was supposed to be on that plane. All his stuff was on that plane, but by the grace of God and a mistake, he was put on plane 2. Well, do you know that my new client, Mr. Kim, was in the military at that time and rescued people and babies from that plane? And we're like, remember, Kristin? We're like,
in Huntington Beach. He
like
was there.
He was there.
He was
and
there.
Then we ended up connecting a month later. And now I'm doing his book. You know? Is that crazy?
He was there, and he told Dr. Bean he was there. It was like a surreal. It was a surreal moment.
Wasn't it?
Isn't that wild?
How did Dr. Bean react to that? Like, I can't even imagine. Like, hey, you know, the plane you were supposed to be on that you could have died on, I saved people off of that.
He saved people. And he was Mr. Kim's such a humble man. He just, I'm like, you're a hero, you know, and it just like blew off of him. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And I have a picture, and I'm just like, every time I see that picture, I just like, I get teared up, and I just think, oh my gosh, there's so many great people out here in this world, you know, and for us to be able to connect, I mean, I can't even imagine how Dr. Bean felt when he saw that and met this man, you know, like you're saying, Sean.
It's so random, you know?
Yeah, it's just so wild. And Michelle said, so inspiring that he could be vulnerable enough to share his story. Kathy, you did an amazing job of capturing everything about his life. It's wild. So,
thank you, Michelle.
We're going to get into some other things here. We got a couple of minutes. So we've talked about, you know, the greatness of like, oh, find somebody to tell your story. It'll be great. Everybody, butterflies for everybody. The other side to it is this is a brutal world for publishing. Like, again, when I worked on Amtrak, I actually had a woman who rode on the train with me who worked for one of the big publishing houses. She was a reader, like old school, like, give me your book. I'm going to read it and tell you how illiterate you are. Proofreader. Stuff like, you know, John Waters. I'm a big John Waters fan. He's from Baltimore like myself. But she was like, you know, if you weren't like a John Waters, Stephen King, or somebody had to vouch for you in such a profound way, these guys don't want to talk to you. And so what's the other side of this for the person who thinks they do have the next great American story? What's the other side to this that you would kind of say to them, like, hey, here's how you got to prepare. This is your mental side to this.
Right. Well, and I think a lot of it is getting your story done, you know, and like working with Kathy, but you know, no one's going to look at you, you know, your first book out, especially like none of the big publishers will, unless you know someone there or it's a relative. That's why you need to hire me as your book promoter. And there are book promoters out there because yeah, well, because you know what, that I have a niche for beginner, not beginner, but like for novice reader, you know, people who just make a book because they can't, Random House won't look at them, Penguin won't look at them, but like people, there are other promoters out there like me, and you can find them and they have a strategy that works, you know, like building relationships. They have relationships, which, you know, thank God I have these. I mean, really, I think to myself, I'm like, Dad, I'm like, you know, I built these relationships and they're helping me with all my efforts, you know, somebody knows somebody, and I know a lot of people. So that helps, you know? So I think that, you know, it's just, you know, being brave enough to tell your story and to be saying, you know what, I'm going to do this, you know, And Kathy can talk about this in future podcasts too, is how do you get it done? Let's encourage people to write their story. That's the first step.
Yeah, and I think, Sean, you have to think, why am I doing this? And if you're doing it, you're one of the people that writes AI books and publishes 50,000 of them on Amazon. They're doing it they think they're going to make a buck, but they're not. And I think first and foremost, because Stefan and I have a publisher, Connected, and Jimmy Casas. I learned a lot from him as well. And you have to be doing it for the right reason, that you want to just tell your story and get your story out there. Anything else that comes from that is great. And of course, everybody wants to make some money, and of course, how hard do I want to work at promoting my book and getting things out there? Everybody's different, but yeah, there's the reality that it's a hard business. But I think if you truly have a story with heart and you want to get it out there for the right reasons and to help other people maybe, or to share it with the world, that's to me the most important thing.
And Susie's got a long comment here, so give me a moment. She says, what are the chances that today, after 30 years, a friend of mine that I went to high school with messaged me on Facebook? He told me that he purchased my book. I haven't spoke to him in 30 years and said he can't wait to read it, and then mentioned that he's always wanted to write a book. He had a very hard life. He overcame many obstacles. He had addiction issues, and now he is running sober life on 80 acres of land for men and women. I told him about Kathy, and I gave him her information.
Thank you,
and then
Susan.
where do you think a good starting point for sharing your story, the beginning of your life or a big life event? Well, I can answer that one. That's easy. So the beginning is you call Kathy, and Kathy gets you. She calls Kristin, and they get the book written. That's the easy.
That's right.
That's how we do
it.
Right. But seriously, I mean, that's both of those are incredible. Do you have a starting point you want to share with somebody real quick?
Starting point. Say that again, Sean.
Starting point. You wanted to share your story. Like if she had a story that you felt was worth writing, where would you say a good
starting point for that? Okay. I just think you need to write, and it needs to come from a place. You just need to write. I think a lot of writers, and I know myself too, especially all of us who are perfectionists, we hesitate, and it keeps us from getting those stories out. We don't think we're good enough to write a story. We don't think, how am I going to get from point A to point B, And, my advice is just write. And you can always find, whether it's me or someone else out there, or you want to try to do it, publish yourself, you can always find someone that can help you develop it and turn it into what you're really looking to turn it into. So just write. If you take writing classes in college, they'll tell you that, just write, just let it come out of you. And, if you have a passion to help other people, that's going to show in what you're writing,
I love that. Listen, folks, we got to get ready to close things up here. As always, if you found Kathy and Kristin through us, or us through Kathy and Kristin, make sure you're giving this a like, share, follow either our Facebook page if you're over there, or if you're on our YouTube, make sure you're doing that. Or if you're over there on Twitch, give us a subscribe. Make sure you're giving them, checking both of them out. Also, we do this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week's guest is a gentleman named John R. Bradford III. You got to add third. You got to say it just that way. He leads Pet Screening as the CEO, and through Pet Screening, he's pioneered a platform that doesn't just help property managers navigate pet and animal policies. It transforms compliance into actionable data and new streams of revenue, all while making communities more pet inclusive and responsive. which I think is absolutely fabulous
That.
because
So
I think it's what you were talking about COVID. After COVID, everybody had a dog, everybody had a cat. They figured, well, I'm going to be stuck in here. At least I'll be stuck with an animal. So I think it's a phenomenal. So make sure you join us next
That's
week
great.
for them. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to write a number down between 1 and 10. We'll write this number down here. If you need to see the number, I will do it. So at the end of every episode, Kathy, I know Kristin's done this with me before, but she may have forgotten. The guest always gets the final word, but there's two of you. So we got to figure out who gets the first final word and who gets the last final word. So I wrote a number down. So each of you, the closest number,
let Kristin go. Let Kristin go first because I need to know the drill. So go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, well, it's just the
You've
final
done
word.
it before.
It could be one word. It could be a. It's just your final word. Your final
word. One word.
It could be one word if you want it.
No.
Whatever you need it to be. But I wrote a number between 1 and 10. Kristin, what's your number?
8.
Kathy?
1.
The number is 4. So Kathy, you is that right? So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
that's right. Yeah.
That'd be right.
That was pretty good, Sean.
That was good. That was good.
So my final word is if you're looking for help or even if you just want to ask some questions, nashpresspublishing.com. And my final word to all the people out there with stories is write from your heart and get it out there. You can do it.
Yeah.
All right. And don't log off afterwards, you two. Now, Kristin, what's your final word?
My final word is, everyone has a story to tell. And I would just recommend and just tell people, you know what, be brave. Write your story, because this story isn't just for you, but it's for generations to come. And everyone has a story and everyone has lessons to learn from your life, and it's worth being told. And so reach out to Kathy and then I'll get you into Barnes and Noble.
And then reach out to Kristin, and then get on Sean's show.
Exactly.
Alrighty, folks, be sure to push your stool in. This has been a Second Front podcast presentation found on Apple, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found.